Good.
So I think you understand what preterite is. It's the past tense that's completed. See, I ate a hamburger. So you're just reporting to me an event that's over with. It's just completed. Now, how do you form it? So that's a little more complicated. And you've been learning that in Spanish too. You've been working on it all through this semester. Regular past is in chapter 6, and those are those regular endings, right? Hasta, o, almost, I don't. You learned an actual box of endings for the preterite regular verbs. See? So if you say estudiar, it's an AR verb. So if you say I studied, you would take off the AR and use that box and say estudié. See? Estudiaste? Right? Él estudió. So you're using the box of endings for preterite, and that's what we learned in chapter 6. So most verbs, I guess you could say, most verbs are regular. And that's all you do. You use the box and match it up with your subject. It's just like you've always done in Spanish 1. Okay, then you come across what's called irregular preterites, and those you just simply have to memorize. I gave you a 3-page handout on the irregular preterites, and you just memorize them. There's no trick to it. Tener, T-E-N-E-R, becomes tuve, tuviste, tuvo, tuvimos, tuvieron. Doesn't look like tener anymore. But the trick is if you learn number 1, in most cases you can kind of get through the whole pattern. So tuv, T-U-V, so tuve, tuviste, tuvo, tuvimos, tuvieron. But essentially you do have to memorize a unique box, and that's why it's called irregular. Irregular means there's something funny about it, right? So you're going to have to memorize those verbs in the irregular. Hacer is hice, hiciste. It's really different spelling, but you know, they all kind of look like they're following some kind of spelling pattern. So these you follow the boxes, the endings for the AR and ER-IR, and then these you memorize a unique box for each one. Right? Now there's this other strange little thing. It's called third person stem change. And let's use pedir for an example. So for regular verbs, there's no such thing as a stem change for AR and ER. See? So I just ignore it. If it had a stem change in the present, I just ignore it for the preterite, and I just use those boxes. But in IR, if there's a stem change, you're going to honor it, but only in the third person. It's the most bizarre rule. Third person only gets a stem change. So let me just give you this one example, and you can go by this one example. Pedir means to ask for. So in the present tense, that E changes to what? It changes to an I. Okay? So pido, pides. Right? It changes to an I. Well, in the preterite, it'll change also, but only in the third person. Number 1 and 2 won't do it, but number 3 will do it. So, yo pedí, tú pediste, él pidió. Nosotros pedimos, ellos pidieron. So third person only, you get that strange stem change. So these are the 3 categories of preterites. Regular, go to chapter 6 and learn the endings. Irregular, memorize a unique box for each one. And third person stem change is just really weird. If it has a stem change, it has to be IR verb though. It's an IR verb that had a stem change in the present, then it's going to honor the stem change, but only in the third person and only one letter. So if you have morir, right? In the present tense it's O-D-U-E, but in the preterite it's murió. Just take one vowel, the first vowel with you. So it's going to honor the stem change, but only one letter. And you can remember this because you know how to say I'm dying of hunger? Estoy muriendo. Muriendo de hambre. And what you're doing is you're honoring that one letter. It's the same rule.